days a week, 365 days a year. Of course, we give out tons of picks on this show, but our best bets always in the premium area. We are locked and loaded for today's action. It's a weird card. I mean, it's one of those cards that you look at and you're kind of like, this is a weird card. I mean, we have action, which of course is always a good thing, but it just seems that the action is not the best games out there. But you know, as we saw a few months ago, any games are better than no games, and of course, any games are better than simulated games. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties behind the scene. Before I say that Ruffalo is here, he is here now. He's decided to grace us with his presence. All right, we'll bring in the gang. Got the wrong order, so we'll have to fix it now. Because Ruffalo wasn't here for the early, so now we get a good look at the top of his head. Is he there? Or is he just frozen in space? We're gonna cut back.
I think you froze,
exactly
man.
He's gonna show up or not for real. Oh, wrong one. This is going really well this morning. Brian, how you doing today, Rod? Good morning.
Good. Off another winning day.
Oh, I got you guys muted. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm looking at Ruffalo on Skype. He's still frozen, so we'll see if he figures it out. If not, we'll go 3. It's been that kind of week here. Some crazy finishes yesterday. It was all ACC in the ACC Big Ten Challenge yesterday. The Big Ten had no answers whatsoever. Of course, a few games were canceled. I think it would have probably ended up being, it looks like to me, it would have been even or close to it. You know, if you kind of figure out where those canceled games, you got to figure Louisville would have stomped Wisconsin, right? And then,
I don't know.
Michigan State would have probably beaten Virginia, is what I was thinking.
I like Virginia, and I like the opposite of the.
Oh, Wisconsin would have got killed.
I think Wisconsin wins. Killed. I think Virginia wins.
Wisconsin, they would have got the crack court treatment there in Louisville.
I think they're going to come in ornery after losing to Marquette.
Yeah, well, that ain't going to help you at the Yum Center. You can be as ornery as you want. If you're a lousy road team, you're a lousy road team, and Wisconsin and most Big Ten teams are. So that's pretty much what happened. Of course, I think the thing that we saw is that the ACC just has a lot more guts than the Big Ten, right? In all the tight games. The ACC won all the tight ones, and it's like
Northwestern was cruising, and then Pitt just last 2 minutes they took over and
Pitt missed about. I think Pitt shot about 10% from the floor in the first half. I mean, they missed everything from a foot away from the basket, and then Xavier Dixon they had no answers. And, we've seen that from Northwestern. In the entire last 2 seasons have been that was a microcosm of the last 2 seasons where we saw games like against Purdue where they were up by like 20-something with like 5 minutes left to go and lost. I mean, Northwestern has won 3 conference games in a year. I mean, they're not a good team and not where my money's going anytime soon. But, we saw a lot of people on them. I was surprised to see that with their how they've been, but I was on Oklahoma and I thought I was in good shape. So what the hell do I know? I mean, they got rung up in that one. So it happens. And the other game, the Indiana Florida State, that was the won the battle and lost the war. I even went in the Facebook group and someone said, I'm going to bet Florida State money line. I'm like, why would you do that? And it's like, meanwhile, it's like they would have lost with the points and won on the money line. So.
But a winning day. I think you were winning. Rod was winning. I had a winning day. I think we all did. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's college basketball, like almost all other sports. It's a grind, and it's like you're going to have big days. You're going to take it on the chin with, especially, if you're going to take it on the chin. Favorites, dogs. I mean, I had Furman on the money line personally. I didn't have it as a premium pick, but I had a bet on the game. And, I mean, they were in it until I thought the game was going to come down to basically a last-second shot, you know. And it did come down to a last-second shot for the cover. They had two cracks at it. So Ruffalo has made it back. I see him. He looks befuddled in the background, but we'll see if we can bring him in and see if he's now fuddled. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Chris.
Fuddled does not begin to describe how I feel about this computer, but it's all right.
It's always the computer's fault. Way to own it, Chris. Way to own it.
Yeah, I am not admitting user error on this one.
Well, Brian, you're on top of the leaderboards, I believe, these days. What do you got going on tonight in this plethora? It's kind of like you have an assortment of bad games. You know, you have an NFL game that's kind of like...
I decided to take a pass on college basketball today. So.
You're taking a pass?
This is the first time I've ever taken a pass on college basketball.
I have a college basketball play, and I kind of wish I would have taken a pass, to be honest. I
haven't all year taken a pass.
Worse than taking a pass is like you put the pick in, and then there's actually another game you like better, you know? And I only put one in, and it's like I'm kind of not even liking it anymore. I put it in last night. I woke up this morning, and I was kind of like, I read some news, and I was like, oh, man, I'm on the wrong side of this thing.
Yeah, that's how it was when I bet Furman. I bet Furman the night before, and then I woke up the next day. I was like, oh, no.
What was I thinking?
But for me tonight, number one capper last 30 days going into tonight, I got 2 college football selections and 1 NFL. Number one in college football in the season, over $10,000 in profit. NFL, I'm on a 17-9-1 run, 65%. So pick it up. PickDogs.com, $50. Also, 3-day pass at any of these guys is the best time to do it today because you're going to get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday if they upload the night before. So check out the 3-day pass from anybody.
All right. Chris, how about you?
Brian stole my spiel. I was going to start saying you got to get on one of these guys' 3-day passes, but for me, I got everything tonight. I got 3 college basketball, I got 2 college football, and an NFL pick. You know, I got my my Thursday night college basketball trio. Spoiler alert: we're going to sweep the board with those ones. You know, I got my NFL Thursday night cash cow. Like I said, we're going to tell the books to move out of the way. They're going to be utterly disappointed. We're going to milk them for everything they've got. I'm loving today's card. Hop on one of those packages at Pick Dogs Premium.
So Nick is saying he had a rough day. It was one of those days where I went 2-1 in my picks, and I felt pretty good about it. You know, I thought it was one of those days, you know, because I could see a lot of other games that I liked on the board that I didn't. And when I looked at my overall bankroll, because I bet some other games that weren't my premium picks, and I ended up about $500, and I considered that a win. You know, it was like I considered that pretty good. You know, it was like I think what happened is what I tend to do in college basketball, and I'm not going to recommend this for everybody at home, but this is what I tend to do is that I find some games, and what I'll do is on a game like the Pittsburgh Northwestern game where it's an easy one, you just take Pitt on the money line, right? So you just it's layup, right?
Well, that's easy to say today, but Northwestern.
I said it yesterday. I said it yesterday. I saw when you had Northwestern. I said to you, that's a loss. I mean, it was the first thing I said to you.
I mean, it was a win the whole way through. They were covered.
Oh, no. Then you haven't watched Northwestern basketball the last 2 years because that's how every one of their games goes. It's not like that's the first lead they've blown in the last 40 seconds. They do that every single game. They blew a 20-something point lead to Purdue in 4 minutes last year. This team is a folding tent. You don't go 3-17 in the Big Ten by accident. Speaking of 3-17, Ruffalo, what do you got for sale today?
Oh, I did my spiel.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah.
You're up to Rod.
Oh, I got a question for Ruffalo and Rod. Well, both of you are here. The contest and the standings and all of that stuff. So when you post it on the drive-thru, you don't put what it's through, like what day it's through. And I think that's where the confusion is. You know, when you post these standings, it should say graded through 12-9.
Whatever.
12-9. Graded through 12-4. right? So
Yeah.
people know, and it's like you can't say, oh, shouldn't get too worried about the leaderboard. You kidding? I always watch the leaderboards. I mean, golf tournament, they have the leaderboard on every single hole. Like, if you ever been to a golf tournament, they have a leaderboard like the size of your house on every single hole on the course. I mean, and the guys coming down the fairway, you can see it. The guys did not look at the leaderboard because somebody goes, I don't want to watch the leaderboard. Guys, I mean, they're like, you have to go out of your way to not see the leaderboard. It's like, it's, I could see it. I want to see the leaderboard. I'm with you guys.
Okay, so is that what we want? I can do that. I'm the type of guy that's the other way. I'd be the guy coming down the fairway going with his hat.
Of course,
tucked
but
in,
you
going,
got to
"I
give
don't wanna
people
see
the
that."
option.
Yeah.
You have to give people the option. It's
Okay,
like,
well,
because I think especially people, I think like we're a third of the way through. We're about a third of the way through. Today will be a third of the way through. People are going to know, like it's getting past the point where it's like if you have lost a few days in a row where you're going to have a chance. I believe, it's kind of like the US Open, right? You can't win the US Open on day one, but you can lose it, And
I want to see the bottom of the leaderboard so I can text message some of these guys.
For me, this is the point where you can really lose it. If you look at the leaderboard and go, "Oh, I'm too far behind," and you start taking like long bombs, you're just gonna.
it doesn't
lose
matter,
yourself right
but it won't matter.
Yeah.
There's only one winner, so it's like
I know.
so you might as well go for the bombs. I mean, because there's some reasonable bombs out there. I mean, some reasonable bombs that hit. So it's like there's no reason, especially in college football this weekend with rivalries and senior days and all that other stuff. You're going to see all that stuff this weekend. But I don't know. If it's me, I want to see it. So we'll have to figure something out. I think I know it's a lot of work and it's kind of our first time through doing a contest, but I think everyone's been patient. That's been in the contest, but I also think that we could do a little better. So we'll figure it out, and we'll make it.
I have posted the link to each spreadsheet in the Facebook group, so people can.
So
check
people,
it out.
so to check and this way you can check your units, right?
Yeah. Any discrepancies, message me. I'll take a look.
Any discrepancies, message Ruffalo. He'll take a look. He'll figure this shit out. Ruffalo's
When you
on the
got that
case.
many
Boy,
people,
I feel confident. Boy, if that doesn't make you feel confident, well,
You're only saying that because of how long you've known me. Give me the benefit of the doubt at least once.
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's how you go out of business. Rod, what do you got for today?
For today, I've got something Thursday. I've got one NFL, one college football, and one college basketball. One from each sport today.
That's what I got. Same thing.
What we got.
I got the same thing. 1, 1, and 1. These guys always name theirs after food and stuff. Grilled cheese Thursday. I got grilled
Thursday.
cheese, potato chips, and the tomato soup all in one.
I was trying to think of a food that started with TH and I couldn't think of anything.
All right. Let's get to today's action. Brian, go to SoFi Stadium. The Patriots, they never left. They're still there from their game with the Chargers on Sunday. They never went back home. They just stayed out there in Los Angeles, which is weird. We've seen this a few times over the years. Usually the Giants-Jets back-to-backers, but the same team plays as a guest in the same stadium in back-to-back games. Did the Patriots leave it all on the field in the last game against the Chargers? Man, they certainly played their best game of the season.
For me, I'm looking at a defensive battle, a game that should move along swiftly. I see the Patriots not changing their game plan where they run the ball a lot with different running backs, and the Rams with their sturdy defense being able to keep Cam Newton in check. So for me, I like the under here. I like Cam Newton to score the first touchdown plus 700. It's not really a big plus money play, but Cam to score the first touchdown and under the total.
Last time these two teams met, 13-3. Chris.
I'm I'm going to be on the Patriots here. I think this is a must-win game to save their season. I mean, LA's still in the battle in the NFC West, but New England's running out of time to sort of save that season. So I'll take New England plus the points, and I'm with Brian. I like Cam Newton at plus 700 as well. Score the first touchdown.
Rod?
For me in this one, I see a whole lot of people on the under. I mean, I think we're going to see it'll stay pretty close to that under, but I think it just pops over. I think we see some late interception or late fumble or something that makes this game go over. I'm going to take the over 44.5. I think it just sneaks over.
I'm on the under here.
Yeah, spoil our consensus, Rod.
Yeah, I'm with these guys. I'm on the under. This thing's not going anywhere. It's like the only chance the Patriots have is to try that deliberate pace and to let the clock. And that's what the Rams do now anyway. Is that Goff doesn't snap the ball until there's 1 second left on the play clock every single time. I mean, it's every single time he turns the clock. And I think it's just going to be about, I think the Patriots are going to have trouble moving the football inside and outside. I don't see how they move it either way, but, they usually, they're going to have to dink and dunk. So I'm going to have to go with James White for the first touchdown. The only way they're going to be able to move the ball, dink and dunk.
The problem with the Patriots, you never know who they're going to use at the goal line. They got all those running backs that they're always using. That's why it's tough to take.
Well, I can tell you who they're going to use. James White. That's who they're going to use.
I was looking for Rex Burkhead. He must be hurt.
James White.
I think he's out for the year.
James White?
No, Rex Burkhead.
I was ready to say, well, that makes it a crappy selection, doesn't it? God, college football tonight. We got two stinkopotamus games out here, man. These are just really lousy ones. We've got Southern Miss against FAU. Let's just put it at 6:30 Eastern to get this thing over with. Brian, the Golden Eagles 2-7, the Owls 5-2, 1-2 on the road. I don't know, man. They're both losses on the road. The one win on the road was really not overly impressive, to be honest with you.
What did Florida Atlantic put up on the last week? 3 points. I see them still struggling to score as they have all year, but their defense is very stout.
Jim Levitt's
a lot of people on the under as far as money goes, but I'm gonna have to go and agree with the under. I see a low scoring game here, so I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah, they lost 20-3 the week before. They scored 24 on UMass.
That's UMass, yeah.
They scored 10 against the poor tackling Western Kentucky. 24 against UTSA. The loss at Marshall, 20-9. Nice defensive effort in that one. 21-17 against Charlotte. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to take the under as well. I mean, Mitch is always quick to remind me how much I am the president of the Willie Taggart fan club, but I'm a believer. I think he's done really well leading this team, and I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I don't see Southern Miss doing much scoring. I think FAU might be the best defensive team in Conference USA this season. So I'll take the under in this one.
Wow, Chris, it's pretty observant of you. I mean, the guy has beaten big boys at Western Kentucky and South Florida, and it's like, and they give him the head coaching job at Oregon and at Florida State. Yeah, maybe this guy is okay.
I know.
For me, I agree with the under here as well. Both offenses going to be struggling to score any points here. Give me the under.
Southern Miss all day for me. All day and twice on Thursdays. No problemo. I just don't think there's going to be enough points scored here to cover 9. This one could be 16 to 3. 16-10. I mean 16-9, 13-6. Gonna be lousy.
Maybe if it goes to overtime, I don't know.
This is gonna be a lousy game. Speaking of lousy games, Pitt against Georgia Tech. The line has moved on this one up to a touchdown. Pressure here on the Panthers on the road here at Georgia Tech, who has generally can be a tough place to play because their crowd is such nasty people, man. Just mean people. Really mean. Up against a Pitt team that, man, they've been so inconsistent. It's almost like Paul Christ is still coaching there or something. I mean, it's like that's how inconsistent. Nice job, Paul Christ, against Indiana, by the way. It's really solid coaching. It's like, let's just instead of even trying to run it into the line, I mean, why don't you just have your running back take a knee? You know, because that would be about as effective as your game plan was in that one. Brian, Georgia Tech has had few answers on defense this season. What do you think about this one?
What's the mark for making a bowl game this year? Does Pitt need to get their 6th win to be bowl eligible, or is that out the window because the schedule's smaller? I don't know.
The Pitt offense is ranked 87th in the country, coming into this one.
Yeah, I hate to sound like a broken record, but again, I'm taking the under here. I just see a lot of running the ball as usual from Georgia Tech and Pitt. I can see them doing a lot of running. So for me, I'm going to go under the total. 3 unders.
Georgia Tech allows 453 yards a game. That is a lot of yards. That is the 105th ranked defense in the nation. Chris?
Yeah, that's why I'm going to take Pitt here. Pitt, they've hung 40 plus on teams like Virginia Tech and Florida State, and I think they'll do the same to Georgia Tech here. I don't see Georgia Tech keeping up, so I'll lay the points with Pitt.
Georgia Tech allows 37 points a game, Rod.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the over. Give me the over 55.5 here. I think both teams can. Georgia Tech can get a couple, and then Pitt can blow them out. Give me the over.
Pitt allows about 25 a game. Scores about 20. Georgia Tech scores about 24. Pitt about 28. Neither of these offenses is anything special, that's for sure. So I don't love this one. Let's go to this wonderful college hoops card. I mean, this thing is a real gem. If you guys think like it's easy to do the videos when I sit here and do it, everyone like, I mean, not everyone, but I'll say a lot of people make YouTube comments and they'll criticize me or whatever. And I know that I understand that's what I signed up for, but yeah, if you think it's easy when Michigan's playing Michigan State or something. You try doing that Battle of the Dakotas and make it sound interesting. Speaking of the Battle of the Dakotas, it's Jacksonville versus New Orleans, East Carolina against North Florida, South Dakota and North Dakota. Take the gloves off. Northern Alabama against Troy. I mean, these are just too good to be true. Coppin State against UNC Greensboro. Brian, what do you think about these big-time games we've got here?
I like North Alabama pretty much, almost a premium play. I think they get a chance to get a win over a bigger conference. They've opened up the season undefeated, so I'll lay the points with North Alabama. I think they get it done.
You understand who they've played, to be undefeated.
Nobody.
Less than nobody. They haven't even played in a line game. And, they line almost everything now. Back in the day, so Chris has been with us long enough that he knows this, that up until about 2 or 3 years ago, a lot of these, like the Big Sky and these other conferences like this, these games were never lined. Now almost everything is lined. It's like you got to be a really small, like a Division II or NIA, whatever they call it, NAIA. You got to be something like that to not be lined now.
Yeah.
So it's
it was at a point where you'd get maybe 2 or 3 Big Sky line games a year.
Yeah, like Norfolk State would get to the NCAA tournament and they would be like 2-1 against the spread for the season, or 1-2, 1-2 against the spread for the season.
Yeah,
but they
nothing to go off of.
They played so Northern Alabama beat CBC. Any idea? It doesn't even come up when you click on it who they are.
I think it's Carver Bible College.
Carver Bible. And then how about Oak W? Who's this?
But Troy got beat by like 26 against Wilmington, Delaware. I mean, I don't know.
Carver Bible College, Brian. Carver.
This is the shot.
We're not talking about the White Shadow here in Carver High School. We're talking about Carver Bible College. CBC, baby. What's Oak?
Yeah, you know me.
What's OW?
20 point. It's going to be a 20-point win for Northern Alabama.
I like Troy in this one. Chris, who do you like here?
I'm down with CBC.
Oh, in these games. In these.
No, I know. I like the only one I really like here. I like East Carolina against North Florida. North Florida used to be a good cover team for us now this year, and not so much 2-4 against the spread. And East Carolina, I just think, is a better team. Jaden Gardner, I think he has potential to be Player of the Year in the American. So I like East Carolina a lot here.
Yeah, North Florida had those 3 seniors last year that were like all conference players, conference player of the year candidates, and, as I said, seniors.
Yeah.
Another guy who had a tough day yesterday. Like we said, we grinded it out. How'd you do yesterday, Chris? Good day, bad day, sideways?
Sideways.
Sideways. Rod, what was your winning day yesterday, Rod? You grinded out.
2-1.
2-1. See, I was 2-1. I think Brian was 2-1. We were all 2-1. It was grinding. But if you got all of our picks, 6-3.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot better, right? But it sounds the same thing. It sounds a hell of a lot better, right?
Leave me to bring the percentage down with a 2-3.
Yeah, it's 6-3. It sounds great. Yeah, well, you make too many picks, man. It's like, how do you get 5 picks out of that card? I couldn't even get them. I couldn't get there. I even tried to add games, and the 2 games that I was thinking about adding, I think I would have went 1-1. One was one was Georgia Tech, and the other one was.
Yep, I'm lucky I didn't add. I would have went 1-1. It's Georgia Tech, and I was going to add Oklahoma. So
I was going to add Furman. I think I'm not sure who it even was that I was going to add. I have to check.
Well, it was 2. I mean, obviously, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it was 2 points away from a 4-1 day. One in that Florida State game and one in the Furman game.
Yeah, well, the problem is that you don't want to pick either of those.
Yeah.
You don't want you
I
want
felt
to
confident in them.
You want to stick to the easy winners like Pitt.
I know.
oh,
I
come
felt
on, that was not easy win.
Had it all the way. All the way. You know what we call
You got lucky at the end. That's
You know what we call that one? You know what we call that one? You know what we call that in the business, Brian? You know what the big boys call that? Easy winner. We call that the lock. Stone cold lock. You had it all the way. No, you know what the technical term is, Brian? I'll tell you what the technical term is. No doubter. It's a no doubter. Believe me, Brian's got me on a few half points. He's more than a few.
Ravens last Tuesday. That was a no doubter.
Oh.
Had to go back and look at my notes.
Rod, anything in this wonderful time slot? Coppin State up to 17.5.
For me in this spot, I like East Carolina as well. I think they beat up North Florida today. And I'm going to go North Dakota in this Battle of Dakotas. I think this is like a 2-point game.
I like South
It's gonna
Dakota.
be a
in
battle.
that one.
I'm going to take North
I
Dakota.
like South Dakota in that one. I like the way they looked
we go.
against Nebraska. You know, I always remember teams. I said this in the video. I always remember teams that kill me on a meaningless 3. You know, and South Dakota. I mean, they go down 16, 17 points with I don't know, 25 seconds left to go. All of a sudden, everything's falling. It's like, how does that happen? It's like they can't miss. It's Stetson all over again. I like the over in Coppin State against UNC Greensboro. Both these teams give up a lot of points. Neither of them play any kind of defense. The total was at 141 last night when I did the video and loved it. Now it's 142.5. I don't care. Anything south of 170-ish, I think we're good on that one. I mean, if you look at them, I think that combined, they've given up less than 70, like 69. Like Greensboro might have given up 69 in one game, but all the rest of them are like 70s, 80s. I'd say for me, I'd parlay East Carolina, South Dakota in that summit battle of the Dakotas, and the over in that UNC Greensboro little early birdcage. Oregon State against Portland. This could be the worst run Portland's ever been on as a school that I can remember. I know they're 3-1 right now, but we'll get to this in just a little bit about how bad they are. Western Kentucky against Gardner-Webb. Got Northern Arizona up against UC Riverside. This line's dropped like crazy. I knew that this one looked whacked to begin with. It was 8 when I did the video last night. And it's like when the lines initially come out, they seem to be moving one direction, and then around 10 a.m. Eastern time, like around the time the show comes on, 9:30, 10 a.m., the lines shift again. And this Northern Arizona game, it didn't make any sense at 8 points. Now it's at 5.5. It's a little tighter. We got the Ruse, another dropper, from last night. It was 19. It was 19.5. It went 19 right out of the gate, and now it's 17.5 with Kansas City. The Ruse up against Minnesota, who's ever since Pitino took over as the coach, one of the worst cover teams out there. I mean, these guys can't even cover anything. And Ole Miss against Jackson State. I did not do a video on this one. Texas A&M Corpus Christi against Texas Rio Grande Valley. Too much at stake. I felt a little nervous. I didn't do a video on that one, too. It was just too big of a game. Anything there in that beautiful six-pack, Brian?
I locked in this morning with a bet on Northern Arizona plus 6.5. We've seen the line. I think it's still good. Anything above 4.5.
Yeah, I love that.
They're coming off of a beatdown from Arizona, and
it's a throwout. Yeah. It's a throwout. I think it's your first game of the season. Arizona already had a couple in the bank. It's like on the road at the McHale Center. It's like it's a throwout. It's kind of like when you look at the racing form, and it's like the horse, has this certain pattern that he runs. He's like a stalker. And then there's one where he's like, he's like in second place right out of the gate, and he ends up in ninth. It's like throwout. It's like,
this was a game that was going to be a premium, but the problem is if I have this, then I need a fifth game, and I just couldn't get to the fifth game, so I left Northern Arizona off. So,
well, if you're best of the live show people, if you're best of the live show pack buyer, you might have that pick in there. I know someone that might have entered Northern Arizona.
Yeah, if I got one of my picks, it isn't that one.
Could have happened. I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying it could have. Chris, how's the GoFundMe going for the Meat Sweats?
We're past the goal, actually, believe it or not.
0?
I'm excited. No, it was set at 1. Thank you very much. So I could at least buy a new towel. But no, we're good. We're past the Meat Sweats. I like Oregon State against Portland here. I think this is a terrible Portland team.
How is Terry Porter still employed? I don't even understand this.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was so what they did is they just he's in his last year of the contract, right? So they're like, forget it. We'll just it's like we're not even going to give him we're not even going to just give him the money for not working. He's been so bad, we're going to make him sit through another season of this. It's like these guys are normally okay, It's like, I mean, they just got all of a sudden it's like they're just really bad, like really bad, It's like terrible.
Yeah. I think, but yeah, no, I like Oregon State there. And
who was the guy from Oregon State that they had last year? That was he was back and
Tinkle.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
I thought they were a little disappointing last year.
Well, they were, and they had the other Thompson brother, but no, I still think Ethan Thompson is enough to take care of Portland here. So I like Oregon State, and I like San Francisco against Long Beach State. Normally,
we're not at that time slot yet. So.
Oh, sorry, my fault. Okay, my bad.
Okay, Ryan.
Rod, anything here?
It's contagious. It's contagious.
A little Gardner-Webb for you.
Gardner-Webb? Yeah, no, I'm going to stay away from Gardner-Webb. I'll go with Western Kentucky.
It's like people are
Gardner
watching
Webb.
on YouTube. It's like, holy shit, Mitch is doing Gardner Webb videos. It's like, it's like, I don't know. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, Gardner Webb against Western Kentucky. She's like, who? It's like,
Give me the Roos here. Give me Kansas City Roos here. That's too many points for Minnesota to cover. They're an awful team.
the Roos can score, man. The Roos can put points up. They're a Summit team. You know, they can put up 90 at the bat of an eye.
Yeah,
I don't know,
I like the
Minnesota-
Roos there.
What's
I
that,
think
Brian?
Minnesota could beat Miami probably. I don't know. Minnesota's not that bad.
They're not that good either.
What's their record against the spread in the last 3 years?
It's very bad. Minnesota's never a good cover team.
What's the yeah? Because they have a head coach with last name Patino, so it's always they always lay him. And what was their record last year? I mean, they played
Probably
this.
around 500.
No way, no way, no
just a guess.
way were they near 500. They played. So this is what happened with Minnesota. They played like a Long Beach State style out of conference schedule and got housed. And then they went into the Big Ten. They had one big win. They beat like Michigan State or whoever was the really highly ranked Big Ten team. It was like Ohio State or Michigan State or someone like that. They beat them, but they beat nobody else. We'll take a look at this. I have a memory like an elephant, so I know this. I know this stuff. You know.
Are we talking overall record or record against the spread?
Overall, what's the overall record last year? Just the overall record. And they played like this big out of conference schedule, right?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this.
15 and 16, 8 and 12 in the Big Ten.
8 and 12.
Yeah, I told you they're around 500. That's what I said.
8 and 12 in the Big Ten. Let's look at who the wins came against, Chris. Let's dig a little
But
deeper.
that's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see who they beat.
That's not important.
Northwestern twice, right?
Penn State at Ohio State.
That was the win. That was their big win.
Yeah. Wisconsin at home. Northwestern twice. Nebraska at home, but they hung 107 on Nebraska, but it was Nebraska.
At home. All
At
the
home.
Big Ten teams were terrible on the road last year.
Yeah.
How about the out of conference? Did they beat Oklahoma? Didn't they play Oklahoma early?
They beat Oklahoma State by 20
But they
on a,
Lost
neut-
Oklahoma.
on a neutral floor.
lost to Oklahoma, right?
They lost to Oklahoma. They lost to Butler and Utah on the road.
Yeah. No chance.
wins
They should have just canceled the Butler game.
Their wins in non-conference were Cleveland State, Central Michigan, North Dakota, Clemson, FIU.
So
And-
Clemson was their ACC Big Ten game. So they
Yeah,
won.
but yeah,
They won.
so-
At home.
So yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Nah, we're used to smacking around the ACC.
Well, you didn't yesterday. Didn't happen yesterday. It was all ACC yesterday.
It's 6 to 5.
They got
6 to 5.
they
6 to
got the
5
donut
Big Ten.
yesterday, right? The Big Ten donut.
I think they won one.
Who?
Oh.
Who won in the Big Ten?
All I know is it's 6 to 5. I thought they won
Oh,
one.
Michigan beat Toledo. That was their big.
That's
That
it,
was their
there you
big.
go.
Who we beat? Oh, not Toledo. Anyone but Toledo. You'll be playing Toledo. Please, not Toledo. Rod, did you give your picks here? The Roos.
The Roos. I like Western Kentucky, and I like Oregon State.
Really?
Beans.
Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I like Western Kentucky there.
I like Oregon State or anybody playing Portland. So Terry Porter is like, I mean, how do you not just eat the contract? They're just like, nah, we're going to let him suffer through what we've been suffering through. We're going to let him feel the pain with us. Anyways, let's get to these late games. San Francisco Dons against Long Beach State. What up, beaches? South Dakota State against North Dakota State. This line was not out last night, or else I would have done a video on this one, but I didn't. Jackrabbits. VMI against Mercer is postponed. Oh,
I know.
Yeah, I like Mercer big in that
oh,
one.
everybody did. That line went from 5 to 7.5. Like, and that they're just like, you know what? The books are just like, no way. See, now the books have the COVID button, behind the counter.
I took the Iceman. I just went money line minus 350 on that.
It's like, what are you doing? I'm hitting the COVID button behind the counter. It's like,
The betting's out of hand. Hit the button.
I used to work on Wall Street. My boss said that there was a Giants button that the refs would get a shock buzzer, and they would go over and they would check and a voice would come through the headset, and it would just be like, Giants.
It's like that. It's like that commercial for Buffalo Wild Wings or something, where they're like, "I want this game to go longer," so the thing flips up behind the bar, and she touches the sprinkler button at one of the games, and the guy trips over the sprinkler or something.
Good story. It's a good story, Chris.
It's one of my favorite commercials.
Nice story.
I thought you'd enjoy it.
Brian, who do you like in this one? Jackson State and upset Ole Miss. That'll go over real well.
You mentioned San Diego State and Arizona State, right?
Yep.
Early, I liked San Diego State. Then I liked Arizona State, and I'm still sticking with Arizona State, even though the line's moving, I think, the other way. I think Arizona's the better team. They lost to Villanova, but overall, I think they'll be able to take care of business against the Aztecs.
I forgot to say this to everybody. I just want to thank everybody that listens to the show, watches the replay of the show, Stanley's the show, Stanley, who does the short version of the show for everybody. Whatever the case may be, making us the #1 YouTube channel in sports handicapping by views. It's not even close. It's amazing. But thanks, everybody. We just passed we had one of the other ones out there that have a lot higher budget than we do, believe it or not, for these shows, and they have a studio, and they're only looking at the number, Brian. But past their asses. I actually like those guys. I mean, there's some people like I really don't like, and there's other people that I actually do like, and those guys, because the Sharps really are only looking at the number. I do like those guys, which is weird, because most people would think that those are the guys I wouldn't like, but I actually do like them. I like Johnny Detroit. He's a good guy. One of the good guys. Brian smirks. He's like, I don't like any of those guys.
No, I've had a few conversations with him.
How about the guy with the number? Thinks the Sharps are betting the number. You like him?
No, that's my favorite. That's the legend.
I didn't even know he was still alive until recently.
That's debatable. We don't know.
We don't know. Brian was like, "Did you hear that he signed like an exclusive contract?" I was like,
I mean, they make robots.
I'm like,
now
that's
that are
amazing because I thought he was dead. Brian's like, no, it's not dead.
It's yet to be confirmed.
No. I mean, people say that about me too. People say the same shit about me. You think there's not a lot of people out there who aren't sick of my act?
We'll get you stuffed.
Prop me up. Weekend at Bernie's.
Get you stuffed.
Just as long as it's not a cardboard cutout, man. I'm so sick of those things. It was like fun, like the first week, like when they had, like when they did the Rush ones, for the yard goats and stuff. I mean, like that was really good. But it's like now it's so played, the cutouts, so played. At Virginia Tech, they had like Metallica,
Now I'm looking forward to going back to baseball games, but we'll see.
It's weird because, like, living out here, I don't really get to go to a lot of games anymore. And, the thing that I miss going to is boxing. Is the boxing matches in Vegas. That's the sport I miss going to the most. Let's get ready to rumble.
Well, I was looking at rooms for March, so just in case things are positive by then.
I know the host of Vegas, Joe D'Amico.
Yeah, he's hooking me up with 2 midgets that weekend. No. We'll see how it goes.
Whatever it takes. I plan on being there for March Madness, though. I'm still going to stand strong. I'm going to plan on being there for March Madness.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was looking into how I asked Joe what he recommended, what the best places were. So.
I think I'm going to stay at one of the places that doesn't have a casino this time.
Yeah, I offered Kevin Thomas to come along with me. He said he'd only come if I got a suite, so I don't know. Well, we'll see.
So that's no problem. Go to the Signature. That's where I stayed the last time I was out
I want to
there.
get Kevin Thomas in the next room for me. I don't want him rubbing
That's
off.
fine. I stayed at the Signature last time I was out there. They had the suites at the Signature. I stayed there. It was good. And I think Ruffalo, you stayed there too, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say you taught me the valuable lesson to book it through a
Yeah.
Airbnb.
Yeah, you book it through Airbnb, a suite at Signature. You don't have to pay that resort fee, which is like
which was
which is like $80 a night. Can be between 40, 50, $80 a night. Book it through Airbnb,
and it's connected to Top Golf too.
and it's connected to Top Golf.
What's Airbnb, a site?
Yeah, website.
Oh.
It's like you're renting it as like a vacation rental as opposed to, booking a hotel room.
I usually use TripAdvisor, but maybe.
Now, this is people like sometimes put their houses, or like if they have like a guest house or a condo or something, and people don't want to stay in a hotel.
I'll tell you the fine in Hawaii for that, if you do like illegal rentals and stuff, it's like $10,000. It's like ridiculous. It is like, because the tax rate that you pay on different types of dwellings in Hawaii is all over the map. Like if you're a resident, you pay one rate, but if you're like a non-resident that has a vacation rental, you pay like 15%. It all just depends. All right, well, let's get back to these games.
There's not much left in the.
No, there isn't. There isn't. Where are we?
Arizona State for me. That's what I took as my
Chris?
pick.
I like San Francisco. Normally I'd be on Long Beach in this one, but I just think the Dons are too good, and I need to see someone from Long Beach State. I like South Dakota State. No point in jumping off now. They've been a cover machine, so I like South Dakota State, and I like San Diego State. I just think they're going to bring Arizona State down to their level, and the problem is Arizona State can't play defense, and San Diego State, they're capable of scoring. So I'll take San Diego State to keep this one within 3, if not win it outright.
So here's from a Northwestern fan. It was classic Northwestern. I mean, it was. It was
I mean, they missed the foul shot that would have tied it up. And
I know, but the thing is, with Northwestern, it was just classic Northwestern.
I'm still complaining about that Northwestern.
We had I lived in Chicago, so like my wife used to be a high school counselor, so she has friends, that they come out to Hawaii, they stay at our house, and it's like we have some of them, come more than once, and it's like some of them happen to be Northwestern season ticket holders, so I watch the games with them. So that's how I know all this. It's like you watch the game with them, they're up by like 15. It's like we're gonna lose this game. It's like they know. And I'll tell you what, Pitt's not that good either. Got news for you. Rod, have you noticed a lot of people dropping out? To me, the comment numbers where the picks go seem smaller by the day.
Yep.
I expected people to drop out. I expected it, but are you seeing a lot of people drop out? Like, where are we at?
Yep. Well, I'm seeing the comments draw it. They're averaging from about 10 a day.
Is there a certain number of days people can miss in a row that we just eliminate them from the contest?
We figured 3 days. You miss 3 days in a row, then what are you doing here? You're done.
Yeah, because if you're a handicapper on our website, you miss one day. You're going to be, on call. And then if you miss another day, you will be gone. So it's actually, they're giving you more grace period than I would.
Yeah.
I notice people when they miss, I send hey, where is this guy at?
Yeah, that was exactly like the stance behind it. If you miss 2 days as it is working with us, then you're probably not going to be around for very long. And we figured 3 strikes you're out, so.
When you have picks, you like them all equally. Any picks where I put more bread on, Chris?
Yeah, over to the premium area.
Yeah.
You can find my best bets. My best bets are over at the premium area. You want the bets that we're putting money on today? They are over there at the premium area.
Thank you for signing up with Brian's picks. Hopefully he puts you on some winners. El Niños is here. Will he be on the drive-thru tonight, Chris?
Yeah, Al will be. I'm going to pull up the schedule because I hadn't received it from Tony yet.
I haven't
but,
either because I have a scheduling conflict, so I have to make sure I could do it. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make it on the drive-thru today. I might have to write in my pick and send it in.
Just don't send it by postal service.
I wonder what Romanelli's doing. He owes me a stand-in. Send in Romanelli. Or Ann. Did her pick win yesterday?
Utah Valley.
I think Ann had a winning day yesterday.
No, her
also,
pick
if I
on the
have it
show.
right. Oh.
Ashley Waite. Pitt -6.5. She lives in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got you on at 6:35, Mitch.
Larry fucking Bird.
We've also got Shane Mickle, Damian Sosh. I think it's pretty far up there in the college basketball leaderboard.
Way to promote the
last I
show,
looked.
Chris. It's like
Utah Valley lost by 10.
nice, but they tried, Rod.
They tried. They were there.
A for effort.
A for effort.
Carver is below NAIA level. They postponed the Mercer VMI game. Al Ninos with the breaking news.
Get out of town.
This just in. Oops. Whoops. Oh no. I deleted everybody. I got carried away. I was having so much fun too. Man. That was funny. This just in.
It's just in. The number behind you was like, but the meter was going up so fast.
All right, Chris. We've had our fun. We've had our good times. Parlay it up. Who do you like? Maybe we should call it our Parlay It Up section.
We could do that.
Or tweets from the birdcage.
I like San Francisco laying the points in college hoops. Kansas City plus the points against Minnesota. And Oregon State minus the points against Portland.
Say it again. Repeat it.
San Francisco minus the points. Kansas City plus the points. Oregon State minus the points.
All right. Rod.
For me, we're going to take ECU, take the Pirates, take the Jackrabbits, and take Oregon State. Parlay those three up.
Brian.
Just a simple 2-game parlay. Take Northern Alabama minus the points and Northern Arizona plus the points. 2-game parlay there.
Under in the Rams-Patriots game. Southern Miss. And East Carolina. Sounds reasonable. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. Oh, I'll be back tonight. Halftime of the Rams-Patriots game. I love doing those halftime shows. We've made a few shekels along the way. We will do that. Chris will have the drive-through. I don't know if I'll make it. I'll fess up and tell you why I can't go.
You're golfing.
No. I have actually. We have friends of ours that are leaving the island, and we're supposed to go to lunch at Morimoto's. See, do the drive-through, go to Morimoto's. Drive-through, Morimoto. They make these little tacos there, like ahi tacos, and then they also have like a hamachi taco. I'll post a picture. In the you guys, you'll fully understand. Let me see if they have it on. Let me see if they have it on Google Images. Let me just check.
I could go for a taco.
Oh, that's what I think I'm going to make for supper. I got some mahi out, and I just don't know. I was like, what am I going to make with that? I'm like, mahi tacos? Oh yeah, I'm down. That's supper. Oh.
Let's see if I can find a picture. Let's see. Oh, here they are. Oh, no, that's not them. That's not them either. Morimoto's at MGM Grand has them. Morimoto's. Oh my God. My mouth's watering. Standing here. Anyways, I'll take a picture of the damn fish tacos. I'll post it in the Facebook group. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate every one of you. Number 1 sports handicapping YouTube channel in the world. Thank you guys. Thank you for making us that. Be sure to smash the like button. Have a great day.